talked about after that war, and it's the Powell Doctrine. You go in with everything, you win, and you bring them home. If you don't...
Or you shouldn't go in the first place. You're not going to be willing to make that commitment.
So let's talk, Doris, also about the dirtier side of war as it comes to presidential legacies. Wars have a way of having presidents, even our most revered presidents, stomping on civil liberties. We could start 1798, the Alien and Sedition Acts. We can talk about Lincoln suspending habeas corpus. We can talk about what Woodrow Wilson did in World War I toward German Americans. Of course, Roosevelt infamously with the internment camps. We can take it all the way through George W. Bush and Gitmo, and then Barack Obama, you know, beating his chest and wearing sackcloth and ashes through 2008, and then as he's sworn in goes, okay, where are all those guys? I need them. I mean, there's a very dark side to this warfare, and presidents aren't really good at...
And the saddest thing is that the excuse always is that necessity compels somehow the violation of civil liberties. Even Lincoln would argue, I had to get those troops to Washington. If I didn't get them to Washington, the Union wouldn't have stayed. FDR is told somehow that the Japanese Americans are going to be coming in from California to Detroit to take over the country. But as Thurgood Marshall, Supreme Court Justice, once said, those are precisely the moments Lincoln would argue, I had to get those troops to Washington. If I didn't get them to Washington, the Union wouldn't have stayed. FDR is told somehow that the Japanese Americans are going to be coming in from California to Detroit to take over the country. But as Thurgood Marshall, Supreme Court Justice, once said, those are precisely the moments when civil liberties matter the most and when you have to be careful. And all those presidents suffer in history. I mean, Eleanor Roosevelt said about the incarceration of the Japanese Americans and FDR's failure to bring more Jewish refugees into the country before Hitler closed the door forever. Those were his scars. She knew that. I think Lincoln, if he came back now, would know that his scar was that he wished he hadn't had to do the habeas corpus. Usually you don't have to do those things, but you get, this is your point, war takes it grows on itself, and then you do everything you need to. And it's a sad, dark chapter.
And the human element, Jefferson used this when he talked about buying Louisiana, which was unconstitutional, and he was for a constitutional amendment before he was against it. He was going to pass an amendment to the Constitution to buy Louisiana Purchase. Then he got a letter saying Napoleon was rethinking this, and suddenly, well, we don't need to worry about the Constitution. And he used a very interesting metaphor. He said, I am acting to the country as a guardian would to a ward, and I am doing something for the good of the ward that I wanted to do for their long-term future, even if in the short term it appears not to have been fully according to the strict line of the law. And I think all of these men so far, when they get behind the desk, when they get that ultimate responsibility, they take this, they have the sense that the whole weight of the world is on their shoulders, and the line between executing that responsibility well and falling into self-pity and a kind of solipsism is a really fine line. And
especially the weight of the life of the soldiers, which they take very personally. So if they think they're doing something that helps those soldiers to be in less danger, even if it violates the Constitution, that's how they rationalize it in their mind, I guess.
That's right.
John Meacham, Doris Kearns Goodwin, and Evan Thomas, thank you so much. Ahead, the new Mount Rushmore. What faces would our historians add to the mountain if the monument were to be carved today?
The line it is drawn, the curse it is...
She wants everything at once. Oh, okay.
What's Dad?
You got me all tired already.
I like when she puts both paws up in the air. Oh, that's a cute. I love that toy. So cute.
nothing but toughness. Okay. Wow. That's what Buzzy sneezes too like that. Buzzy got this sneeze.
Uh-oh.
Pippins. Time for peepers.
So, is she paper trained or what? What is that?